see here. Sorry, we got folks knocking on the door. Hey guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'll give everyone a little bit of time to log in. We had somebody knocking at the door. I was not expecting that. So I'll give you guys a few minutes to start chiming in. Hey, Io Quinta, thank you for joining. Ron, Oyenda, Jerfet, hey guys. So I am here. I'll give you all a few minutes to get yourself together. So tell me about your weekend. Tell me, oh, Easter. I took off Easter. I had our North Atlantic Regional Conference for AKA. I turned silver. My mom turned gold, which was amazing. We had a really, really good time. I still am cleaning up glitter. I've been cleaning up glitter for days now. So anywho, what about you guys? What'd you all do this weekend? Hey, Ricky. Hey, Sean. Thanks for joining. And we're going to get started momentarily with the guys from Cointhusiast, or well, Guy from Cointhusiast. One of them had an emergency, so he could not join us. So we have about 2 minutes to chit chat, and then we're going to get started. Thanks, Levon, for the like. I saw Raj join. So Raj and I are always roommates when we travel. This was a very interesting experience because the beds are super small, and she and I shared a bed. And she was like all over me, taking up the whole bed. I don't know what was going on this time around, but I fussed at her. I was like, look at here, lady. I need you to stay on your side of the bed. Hey, Ebony, thanks for joining. Oh, goodness. So we are going to get started. For those of you that chime in late, you can always watch the replay. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Renee Butler. I'm the Life Over Coach. I am a speaker and award-winning business owner, a biz builder, and a certified project manager. So what do? I show you guys how to organize and prioritize your life, and I teach you how to monetize your business ideas and products. So simply put, I teach you how to get your life and get your money. So happy Sunday, happy date night. Thank you, Ebony. So for today's R&Rs, if this is your first time joining, drop your name, where you're from. Please give me a like or a follow on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, and Snapchat. I am everywhere you are. If you are interested in the in-person live event training, we're going to spend 2 days building your business. I'm going to be showing you how to monetize all your products and your ideas. We'll get your websites done, get your product stores open. We'll create all of your brands and go through marketing strategies so you can start collecting those coins. So put a 5, and I'll reach out to you personally if you're interested. All right, y'all ready for content? Let me see some yeses. And tonight I have Joseph Caroma here with me from Cointhusiast. He even gave me a shirt, got my own Cointhusiast shirt. I'm so excited. We're going to be talking about what's in your wallet. So are you investing in cryptocurrency? If you are not, why not? You should be. And how to get started. So Joseph, come on in. He's right here.
Hello, everyone. How you doing?
Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Very, very welcome. Very welcome.
I'm super excited. So a ton of people have been asking me about Bitcoins. But so y'all, it's Bitcoin. So I need y'all to say Bitcoin. There is no S.
Coin, yes.
It's Bitcoin.
Yes.
So I wanted to bring, so we're missing another one of the guys. He had a family emergency. But I wanted to bring them here because they're the ones that got me started. And it was the way that he broke everything down that made sense to me, and I'm hoping it makes sense to you, and why you really should be investing in cryptocurrency, because it's not just Bitcoin. So we're going to talk about some of those tonight. So Joseph, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, what got you started? And I love your why story, so I would love for you to share your why, and then how long you've been in the crypto space.
Hello, all out there. My name is Joseph Karoma. I'm the owner of MaxFit LLC. I actually run a fitness business, and this is actually my second business, Coenthusiast. The main reason why I even got into this space was to generate wealth. I mean, at the end of the day, I think we're all trying to find a way to be able to acquire wealth, keep wealth, and be able to pass it on to our lineage. So that was one of the main reasons why I kind of jumped into space. And also, I think a lot of people are, it's a very interesting space. You want to understand, like, what is it? What is this thing? What is this digital thing? What is this thing that people are using and talking about that's creating so much wealth and so much buzz? And CNN is talking about it, and CNBC is talking about it, and all these other people are talking about it. So it just kind of kept me just thinking about it. And before you know it, I looked into it, and then my why is really the generational wealth part. I have a wife and 3 kids, and at the end of the day, my objective is to leave them something when I'm not here anymore. And this was one of those ways that I said, hey, there's a stock market, there's 401ks, there's all kinds of ways to invest and save, but this is something new. And for those individuals that remember the .com or the internet boom, this was kind of one of those things that I saw, hey, if you get ahead of it, you could possibly make a lot of money and be able to store it away for later. So that was my why.
Good. And what was I gonna say? You said something. It slipped my mind. It'll come back to me.
Okay.
It'll come back to me. So, how long have you been in the crypto space?
So I actually started October 16th of 2017, and it's something that had been on my radar prior to. I think the first time I even heard about digital currency was in 2012, 2013. But it was one of those things where you hear about it and this kind of goes in your ear and it goes right out. But I remember I remember it was June that I was reintroduced to it. And then around October, I saw something flash across the screen in Bitcoin. China said they banned Bitcoin, and Bitcoin dropped by like $2,000 or $3,000. And then the next day it went up 1,000, and the next day after that it went up another 1,000. I was like, wait a minute, I've never seen something move that fast. I've been in the stock market, I've been into buying and selling stocks, but I had never seen something elevate so quick, so fast. So it made me just say, okay, let me just jump in head first, not knowing anything about it. I found where to go, jumped in, and I just started buying. And before you know it, 100 became 2, 2 became 5, and just kept on elevating. And I literally caught what they call the parabolic period of from October all the way through, from Bitcoin going from 5,000 all the way to $20,000.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, no, what I was going to say. So I listen to talk radio all day.
Okay.
And every day there are conversations about cryptocurrency and what the market is doing. And I realized that this is something that's serious. It's not going anywhere. And I started doing some research, and I knew that this was something I needed to get into when I learned that Walmart is moving their operations to the blockchain, BMW, same thing, and John McAfee.
Yes. He's notorious in this space.
Yes.
Mr.
Cybersecurity.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, he's out here, investing in cryptocurrency and talking about it and working on projects. So I was like, okay, I need to get my life and start doing this.
Yes.
And what I learned was that crypto is very similar to regular stocks, like investing in the stock market.
Very much so.
Same thing as far as gains and losses. So can you tell us about your experience?
So my experience from getting into the space has been literally, like I said, I jumped head first in, and I learned some things on the fly, and some things I end up having to read and understand and kind of go back. But it's been very, very interesting and also very lucrative. So that's what I guess kind of keeps my motivation, because when you make money at something, you're like, whoa, okay, I'm making money and I really don't understand it, but okay, let me go understand it, and then I can see why I can make more money. So that was kind of my reason of really diving all the way in and really understanding what is Bitcoin. It's a peer-to-peer transaction. It's pretty much, in layman terms, removing the middleman. Business as we know today, everything goes to a middleman, whether it be the bank, whether it be a PayPal, whether it be some form of entity, which is what we call a centralized transaction based. Now with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, we have a decentralized. So business is not what it used to be. Now I can say, you know what, Renee, I want your services. Do you accept Bitcoin? You say yes, and I can literally pay you from my phone to your phone, and no one will know about that transaction. It's something that comes from my phone to your phone, or from my computer to your computer, and once the funds are in your hands, they're yours. And the cool thing about it is there's the blockchain, and now Bitcoin and cryptocurrency actually lay on top of the blockchain, and that's how the system is checked. That's how you can understand where and what and how things are going. And anyone, I don't care who they are, can get on the ledger, which is the blockchain, and understand what transactions are happening, who has what, and who did what. But the cool thing is, it's also verified amongst consensus, which is the group of individuals, whether it be the miners or be the individuals that are on the blockchain that actually check the blockchain and say, you know what, this is verified. She did this or he did this, and once it's cleared, then you go to the next block. So it's a series of transactions that are done. And once the block is closed or all the transactions are verified, then you go to the next block. Hence block chain.
Right, that makes sense.
Yes.
So when you and I first started talking, you really stressed about researching the coins that you're buying. Can you talk more? Because so many people think that it's just that one like Bitcoin that you buy, and they're like, oh, it's, I think right now today it's about $7,000-$8,000, but about a couple months ago it was $19,000-$20,000.
Exactly.
Like, I can't afford to buy even one coin.
Exactly.
But you don't actually have to buy a whole coin.
Exactly.
And there are thousands of cryptocurrencies out here that people can invest in. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
So I guess if you want to start with Bitcoin, to break it down, Bitcoin, I try to let people understand it from the standpoint of money as we know it today. So case in point, a dollar is broken up to 100 pennies. So 100 pennies equal $1. So with Bitcoin, it's also broken up in micro bits or little bits. So you can buy portions of Bitcoin. You don't have to buy the full Bitcoin. And I think that's the biggest thing that a lot of people are like, it kind of like, how and what, and where do I go, and how much can I buy? And I can't afford $5,000 in one time, or I can't afford $10,000 in one time. But what you can do is you can buy in increments. So like when I first started, Bitcoin was, I told you, was $5,000. But my first transaction was $100 worth of Bitcoin. And then from that point on, I just kept on buying. So $100, $50, $5. Today, well, actually a couple months ago, I started just buying $5 of Bitcoin a day. It was just one of those things where I was listening to another individual, and he was talking about creating wealth, and investing $5 a day into the stock market can generate you more money. So I said, okay, well, if I can invest $5 into the stock market and it creates me more money, what if I took that same and started saying, hey, let me put $5 in Bitcoin a day. Yes. And that $5 would turn into 10 and then 15. And I'm like, oh my God. So it's just one of those things where it just continued to grow and grow and grow. So the main objective with Bitcoin is it can be broken up in pieces. You can buy it in pieces, but also you can use Bitcoin and other coins like Ethereum. So there's Bitcoin, main coin, right? Granddaddy. And then there's the altcoins, or alternate coins. So alternate coins are really, really cool because you have coins like Ethereum, which is a platform-based coin. And it's a coin that you actually can build your infrastructure of your business. So when IBM and Facebook and Walmart and all these individuals say they're going to put their businesses on the blockchain, you actually have to put it on an infrastructure coin, which is Ethereum or Cardano or any one of those that are scalable, because some businesses are very, very big and some businesses are very, very small. So you want to be able to scale up and scale down depending on if you're a smaller or bigger business. So these coins actually allow you to do that with ease. So Ethereum is one of the coins that a lot of people use to create infrastructure. Litecoin is a currency coin. Bitcoin is also a means of exchange, which is a currency. And you have different coins like Wabi or Car Vertical, which he was talking about. You were talking about BMW. Yeah. Car Vertical and BMW have actually teamed up, and their objective is to put all your car information in one place. in one place that cannot be changed. It's trustful and trustless. So once it goes on there, it's on there and it can never be changed. So that's the cool thing about the blockchain. It can never be changed. It can never be played with or moved around. And if someone tries to, it is actually alerted amongst all the computers that are on the network that, hey, something is happening in this block.
So explain a little bit more about the benefits of the blockchain.
So go ahead.
No, go.
Oh, so blockchain, the blockchain to me is like the next revolution. Picture this. I always think of like the Jetsons back in the day, how people like on the Jetsons, I remember if something was done or finished in your refrigerator, it would automatically like put it back in there. It would automatically, like say you ran out of milk, milk would automatically come right into your, so that's kind of where the blockchain is kind of trying to take it to that level of, I have these things in my refrigerator. I have these things in the vending machine. As money comes in or as it goes out, there's a code that says, hey, it's at a certain level, we need to purchase. So like kind of Peapod just automatically shows up to your house and says, hey, you want this, 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 this? Why? Because your refrigerator told us that, hey, this is what's needed. Okay. Or your car needs maintenance. Your car actually schedules the appointment directly with BMW or Mercedes. And from that point on, it says, hey, on this day, we need to take the car in. So it just becomes one of those things where we're kind of trusting computers and the internet and all that and what they call the Internet of Things more. And it becomes more autonomous, more, hey, hands off. And I think a lot of people are afraid of that, but at the same time, I think a lot of people are like embracing it and looking forward to that. Where will we be in the next 5, 10, 20 years? What would things look like? You know, drivable cars that are drivable by themselves.
And they're doing that now.
But things are just going to get better and better and better. So blockchain to me is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And I think it's business as we know it today will change significantly in the near future.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people think it's too late to, get into this space, but it's not true. Even though, yes, if you were trading back in, 2002, 3, 4, up to, 12, you've made millions. Millionaires and billionaires are being made every day in the crypto space. It really is a matter of understanding what you're doing, what coins to purchase, how to trade. And I would hate for people to not take advantage of this. Very much so. Because you're right. This is the great wealth equalizer, especially for people that look like us. Once you understand it, and you can begin to trade.
Yes, and I think that's the biggest thing that I actually look when I'm helping people to understand this space and helping people to invest in coins, or they ask me questions. I really take the time to let them understand like why and what and why and how. And your why is your why. My why is my why. But understanding this space can generate a lot of passive income and also create generational wealth for the future. And I keep telling people, like, you have to take advantage of situations, especially from the beginning. Like, this is still the beginning. I know Bitcoin was established and came about in 2008 because, and then let me say this, because of the economic downturn is actually why Bitcoin was birthed. Like, people were angry when the economic downturn happened. People lost a lot of money. People were not able to retire. People are still working to try to retire even now. So
I lost a ton of money.
Exactly. So with people losing so much money and being very, very angry, a group of individuals, they say, or one individual under the surname of Satoshi Nakamoto created Bitcoin. And it was a open source, peer-to-peer. Open source meaning anyone can go in and look at the code at any given time and say, hey, what is this about? So it was just one of those things where it just kept generating. And when Bitcoin first started, it was only pennies. It was actually fractions of pennies. And then as time went on, people started saying, hey, this is something that we can use as a mere peer-to-peer transaction. And we don't have to do transactions with the bank because people were angry at the bank and the financial system. So they wanted to find another way to pretty much say, hey, you know what, how can we do what we do without the banks being in it? And some people like that and some people don't. But I tell you, revolution is not always like smiled upon. So this, I think, is a revolutionary thing, and that can take us into the near future.
Okay, so this is kind of the exact conversation that you and I had. I think we talked for like 2 hours that night.
We did.
And I was like, all right, let's start right now. What do I need to do? Show me.
So,
and I actually started investing that day. And
yes.
I try to invest every day now.
Yes.
I look to see what's going on and what I can buy. And Cointhusiast is very good about also sharing information
Thank you
about
very much.
what's some of the latest trends and good investments. So he's going to talk a little bit about like how you decide what to invest in, but share with people kind of how you get started.
Okay. So, like anything,
My Instagram is all crazy.
No
People
problem.
can't see us.
No problem. Like anything, you have to like. I try to let people understand from the standpoint of buying stock. So with the stock market, you go to a stockbroker or you go to an exchange.
Right.
So when you want to buy a stock, you go through. Now they've made it so easy. Before you had to call in and, you know, hey, my guy has to do this. Then it got to the point where you could trade for yourself and you had to pay a fee, you know, whether it be E-Trade or any of these Ameritrade or any of these companies, or not even Robinhood, where they have you can trade for free. So we've evolved, as you can see, we've evolved from literally getting on the phone and calling someone to do a trade for you to you being able to do your own trade, and then those trades be able to be free. So like just with this space, it's very similar, but they kind of went straight from you with your fiat currency. Let me let you understand what fiat currency is. Fiat currency is your dollar, your yen, your euro, and you're able to take that money and exchange it for cryptocurrency, or what we call digital assets. And by you being able to take your fiat currency and change it into cryptocurrency, then you're able to either keep the currency that you bought, or you can take that currency and actually buy altcoins.
Right.
And that's kind of where more people are making more money. So when you hear people are making millions and billions of dollars, they really are making millions and billions of dollars, because what's happening is you're able to buy a coin. Let's say you buy $100 or $200 worth of Bitcoin, and then you turn right back around and see a coin that's cheaper. But understand, just because it's cheaper, that doesn't mean it's a great coin. Right. So your main objective is to understand what's promising. Why is this coin a good coin? And what I have found is my criteria is, how does this coin disrupt business as we know today? So you look at coins like Cardano, which is the next Ethereum. And what happened was the guys from Ethereum, there was two guys, one was a Vitalik and one was, I forgot the guy's name off the top of my head, but they actually created Ethereum, which is the second coin on CoinMarketCap. And he went off and they broke up, and he created his own coin, which is Cardano. So what he did was he looked at all the shortcomings of Ether or Ethereum and created a coin to literally say, you know what, we're gonna take this other coin out eventually. Not right now, but it's eventually trying to work to move into the space of an Ethereum, or to be able to be direct competition for Ethereum. So, and that coin is a cheaper coin, but it has way more features and way more structure than the coin that's the #1 coin right now. That's today about 388, teetering around 388, about $400. And last year going into January, that coin was about $1,400 a coin. So you do the math. I mean, you buy a coin for $100 to $200, and it goes all the way to $1,400. Now, if you have 6, 7, 10, 100 of those coins, and they go up that much, you just made a significant amount of money.
Yeah.
But if you can get a coin like Ethereum, that's $300 or $400, and go buy a significant amount of Cardano, and that thing comes up from 5 cents or 10 cents or 15 cents to $1, $2, $5. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the amount of wealth, the amount of income that you can come in? And so that's kind of been my way of actually accumulating and also generating more income for myself.
And a lot of us don't believe in having more than one source of income, and that's something that I try to teach people. A lot of people, you are dependent on one income.
Yeah.
And if something happens, you know, you collect an unemployment,
yes.
you know, you're kind of, pardon my French, ass out.
Yes.
And I think that this is a good way for people to invest their money, because you can also, just like with the stock market, you can pull money out.
Exactly.
So like
Exactly.
you said, you took some money out,
Yes.
and you made a good amount of money. Oh,
Yes.
and by the way, he was a multi-billionaire for like, was it 5 minutes?
For like 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. 5 minutes. I went from a thousandaire to a millionaire to a billionaire in a matter of about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a very funny story, but I mean, I can touch on it real quick. So I bought a coin that was really, really cheap, and what you find in this space, as I've been in it since October, I'm up late sometimes and early in the morning, and what you find is there's a term in crypto space that is called the whales. Mm-hmm. Now the whales are the big money guys. I'm talking about the multimillionaires and the billionaires. Some of them are in this space, and then some of them are like, hey, I want to get in this space, but I have a lot of money and I want to flip my money. Mm-hmm. So you can have a guy take $1 million and turn it into 5 million or 10 million. So a couple of times I bought a coin, and the coin would literally jump up from like pennies to like dollars to like 1,000 to $500, and it was like, whoa, what is this? And as you track your coins, I use this thing called Blockfolio.
Mm-hmm. I use the same thing.
Yeah, and she uses the same thing to track your coins. And as you buy coins, you put them in to understand where you bought them, how much you bought them at, and also your profit or your loss. Mm-hmm. So I looked in there one day, and all of a sudden my Blockfolio said like 48 million, and I was like, what the heck is this? And I didn't understand it, so I kept, like, okay, next time it was 64, and then next thing it was like 48, and then it went up to like 1 point something billion, and I couldn't believe it, so I had to show someone else, and I ended up showing Renee, and I showed my business partner, and they were like, they fell on the ground, they were like, why didn't you sell? I was like, I couldn't sell it in fast enough time to be able to reap some of that benefit.
Right.
Some of it, some of it I have, but not to the extent of millions of dollars. Right. But I've caught some nice gains, and I don't like to really talk about it. We forgot to also say, we're not financial advisors. I am not a financial advisor.
Right. I'm not
this
either.
Is for informational purposes only, and use that.
But
research.
Everything that he's taught me, I've made a lot of money too. So
we always have to put that disclaimer out there.
I'm in this game for life to ride until the wheels fall off. So I want to switch to, and then we'll go back to like how you get into this space and how you start trading. But because you touched on it already, can you talk about real quickly the different categories of coins that people can invest in?
So there's currency. Bitcoin is another one that a lot of people like these days, which is the difference. It's kind of cool. Bitcoin is a decentralized, and Ripple is a centralized. So it's owned by the banks, and a lot of banks use it to transact money or transfer money from bank to bank or within banks, because what they were finding is it takes forever for you to let a transaction go through, even though they're the ones who created this system. So when Ripple came about, they were able to move millions to trillions of dollars in a matter of seconds. So Ripple is a big one that a lot of people are jumping on, because it's like, hey, it's the bank's coin, and if the banks are behind it, then obviously, hey, it's not going to go anywhere. Right. So that's what we call a currency coin. And then infrastructure. Infrastructure is like what I was saying earlier, Ethereum, where you're actually able to build and scale with your company. Ethereum, Cardano is another one, and I always put those two together because they're like brother and sister in a sense. And that's infrastructure. You actually can build your infrastructure or your platform, or more your infrastructure on that. And then there's privacy, or they say in the UK, privacy. And that's pretty much private. A lot of people, one of my favorite coins in that space is Verge. And then like the coin that a lot of people know about now is Monero, because a lot of the singers and rappers, like 50 Cent, I think everyone kind of, if you don't know, 50 Cent for his last album took fiat currency, which is dollars, and he also took cryptocurrency, but he only took one specific one. It was called Monero, and Monero is a privacy coin that actually can't be tracked. So a lot of people like that coin for that purpose. But what he did was he took payment in that, and pretty much that's off the radar. So he create whatever he made with fiat, they know about. what he made in Monero, you don't know. So it's kind of one of those coins where a lot of people are like, hey, that's a coin that I definitely want to look at. But a cheaper version of that is Verge. And that's what I try to get people to understand. There's the big time coin, or the most expensive coin in that category, and then there's the next best coin that's a little cheaper. And I tell you, look, take advantage. Like, buy, if you can afford the larger coin, buy that one. If you can't, go down to the next coin. And then another one is supply chain. Supply chain is another category, and what that is kind of like Wabi or Car Vertical. When I said Car Vertical and IBM I mean, not IBM, BMW, what they're doing is putting all the information on cars on one area where you can go to and say, hey, my BMW was bought at this day, at this time, and you sell it to the next individual, and they're able to go on and verify that it was bought on that time and everything that was done to it. And then there's a cool one that I really, really like, and it's called Wabi. I love Wabi because Wabi is here to solve the problem of fake baby food. Yes. So what you were finding is a lot of babies actually were passing away or dying from bad baby food that was either bad or had things in it that it didn't have. So the supply chain actually helps because the manufacturer makes this, puts it on the blockchain, and now it's secure, and you can say, okay, I bought this baby food from this market, and you can scan it with a QR reader, and it'll come up on the blockchain and say, this is when it was bought, this is when it left the market, this is when it left the manufacturer, and now this is how long it took to get to wherever you bought it from. So to me, I think that's pretty awesome, because now you're able to remove a lot of foolishness in the market, that could harm our babies or even harm us, you know. So I think that's a big thing. So currency, infrastructure, privacy, and supply chain and platform, and then platform coins. Yeah, platform coins are like with the top of my head, Ethos. Good job. Look at her. She's been paying attention. Ethos is a big one. And Steam. And when I say platform, so everyone knows what YouTube is. So Steam is the decentralized YouTube. Yes. And it's a one-stop shop where you can do all what we're doing right now. You can do it on the Steam platform. You can blog on the Steam platform. But the cool thing about it being on decentralized is actually people can pay you within currency for your content. So Facebook taking, I think they say they take 45% or more, give or take, of your income or your money that you're generating with. But understand, it's your content that they're using, and they're paying you, but it's your content, but they're taking a large portion of it. So Steam is one of those platforms that came out and say, hey, we're going to create something very similar to what everyone knows, but we're going to put it in your hands. Right. And now peer-to-peer. Yeah, exactly. Peer-to-peer.
And Facebook is losing a lot of
very much, especially with all this privacy and all this.
People are switching over to, and I'm trying to remember the name of it. I was reading about a new platform that a lot of people are switching to. I'll tell you, but it's not Steam. It's something different. Okay. I looked it up. I can't remember the name.
I mean, and see what's so cool about that? Like, she might learn something that I don't know about, because the cool thing about this space, it's changing every day. Yes. And I honestly told her when I first started, one day in this space is like a week. It's like 2 weeks, because things are moving so fast, and currencies are coming out, and different platforms are coming out, and different projects are coming out. So it's a pretty cool space.
And, I mean, we talk like every day now, because it's like, okay, what are we doing? What am I buying? So speaking of buying, real quick, in case you guys don't know, so now the IRS was really big on trying to figure out how, of course, can they collect money off of the money that you're making in the crypto space. So for now, it's being treated like capital gains taxes. And if you buy and then you sell and you're moving from crypto to fiat, they can trace that money. Yes. So you have to report it as capital gains, just so you guys know. I don't want you guys getting in trouble with the IRS. Yeah. And so speaking of trading, can we talk about how people can get in and getting on exchanges and how to do that? Can you talk about that real quick?
Yeah, I could talk about that, and also security at the same time. So
good, yes.
Getting in the space is pretty simple. Now you have things like Coinbase, which we will put all this information down in the bottom where you can get referral codes and so on and so forth to be able to use, to be able to also get, so when you use a referral code, you get a certain amount of money, and the individual that referred you gets a certain amount of money, which is, to me, is really, really cool. So Coinbase is like kind of the granddaddy, like the main one. And then you have like Abra this came out, and their thing is to minimize the fees, because what happened was, if you're the only one, you can kind of charge whatever you want. So if you have no competition, it's like, hey, my fee is this, and for you to get in the space, you gotta pay.
You gotta pay.
So what Coinbase is now, they're starting to get some competition. So you have Abra, you have now Ethos that's getting ready to drop. They're getting ready to drop their beta, and I'm looking really forward to that, because it's as I said, Ethos is a platform, so it has the exchange, but it also has a cold wallet and a hot wallet, which is how you protect and keep your coins. Because what happens is Bitcoin has never been hacked, but exchanges have been hacked. Yes. So if exchanges are not, if their privacy or something, there's a glitch in their system, and someone's able to, put a Trojan horse in there and get into the system, they can extract your coins or extract coins from the exchange itself. So the way you get into the space is through an exchange, Coinbase being one, Abra being another, and Ethos is on its way. And then it also depends on if you're in America or if you're in another country. There's Coinbase kind of all over, but then there's other countries that have their top exchanges, and you just have to find which exchange is the best in your country or your place, and to be able to exchange fiat. And remember, the cheapest. But the other thing is security. Yes. And I think that's really a big thing in this space right now, because like anything, it's a bit of the Wild Wild West right now still. Sanctions are coming, guidelines are coming, and the SEC is trying to kind of not take advantage, but really trying to put things better in perspective for people not to be able to be robbed or taken advantage of. And I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
I think it's a good thing.
There have been stories of people tell him the story about the computer guy that took his computer in.
Yeah. So Bitcoins have been stolen and lost. So there was a guy, this was like way back, I want to say like 2012, I think 2012 or 2013, when Bitcoin started to get up there. And I think Bitcoin was around like 200, almost touching maybe $300. And the guy took his computer in because it was having some problems. And next thing you know, he took it in, and when he tried to come back and get it, they said that it had shut down. But what really had happened is they had taken his computer, and they found that there was Bitcoin in there, and they extracted all the Bitcoin in, and they got rid of his computer. And under the code, they had to give him a new computer. Now, Bitcoin's gone. Now, and there's only 21 million Bitcoin that is made or have been made, and actually, well, I take that back. Rewind. There's 21 million total, but blocks, as I talked about blocks being broken, blocks are broken every 12.5 minutes or every 10 minutes, and 12.5 coins are let out out of that block. So what people were doing was, as they mined, back in the day, you could mine like this, like you could literally set up your computer and it would extract coins, and you would get like, there used to be 50 coins per block. Then it went to half of that, and then half to that, and then now it's going to, they say the next halving is going to come like 2020, where it's going to go from 12.5 to like 6.25. So what people were doing was they didn't have a place to put their coins, so they were keeping them on the hard drives and so on and so forth, and people were stealing them off their hard drives. So this thing called Nano Ledger was created, and I tell you, this is a godsend. Because what happens is you buy your coins and you're actually able to put them and secure them on here in what we call a cold storage. So with this, I'm able to put the coins that I really, really, really like, say, you know what, I want to put away for a long time and just let them grow. I put them in here. Some coins I keep on an exchange, and a lot of coins I keep in here. And to be able to break in this, you got to be pretty bad, because you need to know, you have to have a PIN, then you have to have a series of numbers that you have to put in, and also a series of words that you have to put in. So if you're able to do that, you're a bad dude or bad lady, bad woman. So, but this is kind of like that thing to go to be able to lock your coins in for the long haul. and it's called the Nano Ledger S. And we also have a referral for that too, through Cointhusiast that we can provide Renee for you guys to get one.
Yes. All right.
Did I answer all your questions? Did I answer all your questions?
Yes, and I want to go back to because you really you explained like 5 different types of coins that people can buy, or 5 different types.
5 different categories.
But there are categories, but there are thousands and thousands.
1,500 and counting.
You can you share about how you do the research and what people should look for when they're looking to buy coins?
Yes. So in this space, there's a lot of terms. Shitcoin, excuse my French, is one of the terms that's used in this space, because what you find, like anything, when something new happens, people try to take advantage of it. And you have people that have come up with these coins, and they'll actually take a white paper. Let me explain what a white paper. A white paper actually breaks down the protocol or the project. So Bitcoin has a white paper, and what it does is it breaks down what is Bitcoin, like what does Bitcoin do, and why should I invest in Bitcoin, and who created it. But they don't know who created it. But these things are like laid out and what that project is supposed to do. So people would copy different white papers and just throw them up and say, hey, this coin is this next thing, and they'll get a marketing team to jump behind them and pump it and pump it and pump it. And you heard the pump and dump, where they pump it up, and then next you know, it goes up really, really high, and then it crashes and you lose all your money. So what I started to do is ask myself, why would I invest in this coin? What is this coin's purpose, and why is it here? So when you look at coins like Cardano and Ethereum or Bitcoin at means of transaction, you have countries in Africa and Europe that people are unbanked. They don't have banking systems.
Right.
So they use their smartphone or their phone to do transactions. And to me, it's so cool that you can say, you know what? I want to do a transaction with someone in Africa, and I can send them money without a go-between.
Yes.
And remittance fees is a big thing right now with so many people getting into space. I think everyone knows about Western Union and those companies, but they charge people a lot of money to move money from one place to another. And I'm originally from Sierra Leone, West Africa, and I remember taking money and going to the shop and saying, oh, I have to do this for my mother, and next you know, the guy's handing me a receipt, and I look at the fee, and it's like $20. So you send a certain amount of money, and they take a significant amount of the money, and you're like, wow, but that's the only way. So you have coins that are actually in this space, like Telcoin, which is a very cheap coin, but its project is amazing. And if it catches on, it can revolutionize remittance fees and how people transact money from here to wherever you're from, native country. And I think that's one of the main reasons and one of the main things that I look at. How will it disrupt, and how can it change business as we know it? And is it the best coin, or is there another coin that could be better than that one? Excuse me. So that's kind of how I go about picking my coins.
Figuring out which one you want to. Yeah, which makes sense, because you really do want to know what you're investing in. Because ideally you don't want to lose money. It's just like the stock market. It's going to go up, it's going to go down. One day your portfolio, might be 100,000, it might be 50 the next, but then 2 days later it could be 200,000. So
there's a lot of volatility in this space, a lot of volatility. And that's why I always tell people, don't play with all your eggs. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put all your money in this thing. Put increments, little bit at a time, that if you lost it, you wouldn't be like, oh my God, I can't pay for rent, or I can't pay mortgage, or I can't eat this week, or I can't, my babies can't go to camp, or whatever. Those are not the things that you want to be doing. You don't want to take those type of chances. And let me let you understand, there are people that are out here that have taken those chances, but let me let you know, they're far and few between.
Yes.
And they've made significant amounts of money, and there's people that have taken those chances and lost significant amounts of money. So I want you to really understand both sides. I'm not here to, sell you a pipe dream or, get rich quick scheme or anything like that. Like anything, you have to research, understand, and then invest. And in that order.
And it's the same with the typical stock market.
Yes, yes.
I think a lot of times where people get so caught up is they buy high,
yes,
because
yes.
they're like, oh, this is hot, this is hot, this is
Yeah.
hot. Let me
FOMO,
get in.
FOMO.
Yes, they
Fear of
buy
missing
high.
out.
Yes,
Yeah. Mhm.
they buy high. Then the market drops.
Yes.
They see they've lost money.
And they get scared.
And they get scared and they sell and they take the loss, versus letting the market drop, buying when it's low,
Yes.
because it's gonna go back up,
There you go.
and that's where you make your money.
Now you just got to make sure that when it drops, you make sure that the coins that you bought were great coins.
Great coins, right?
And the key is you believe in it. If you
Right.
believe in that coin, and other people are talking about it, like people that are high up in the space and understand the space, if they're talking about it or they're investing in it, then you want to
Yep.
research it, then invest in it.
Mhm.
But if it drops, it's called dollar cost averaging.
Right.
So let's say I buy a coin at $5 and I believe in this coin, and it goes up to $10 and I made some money and maybe I took some profit, but it drops all the way down to $1. Do I sell that coin or do I buy more?
Mm-hmm.
To me, I buy more because what I'm trying to do is dollar cost average.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to create if I bought something at 5 and it goes down to 1, I want to buy as much as I can at 1. So as it starts to go up, I'm catching it 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 5. And when it passes that, I'm making more money past that. So
right.
It's really about investing and understanding what you're investing in, and be patient.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Patience is
be in it for the
major.
long haul.
Patience,
it's not a get rich.
It's not a
quick.
get rich quick, man.
Yes.
It's strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Create your strategy, stick to your strategy, and you'll make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money. But then again, like I said, the flip side is you can lose a lot of money. So never sell at the top of the market. Never buy. Never sell at the top of the market. Like right now, the market is down. This is the time that if you bought something up top, you want to buy it down low. So when it comes back up, you just made money all the way up to that point.
Yep.
To me, that's where serious money is made.
Yeah, I bought some today, and I told you I was kicking myself because I didn't get any. Was it yesterday or the day before? And I woke up and I checked the market and I was like, oh, I need to buy some more.
Yeah.
And I started doing something and forgot.
And that's one of those things where you kind of you're going to buy, next thing you know, like, oh, I forgot.
Yes.
And then you're like, oh, it went up. But that's what I tell you, like, this space is very volatile. It's not, it doesn't slow move. Sometimes it's slow moves, and then sometimes it's like a rocket.
Yeah.
And hence the term moon.
Yeah.
Moon is a term that they use in crypto, where it's like going to the moon, meaning it's going to fly through the moon, or it's trying to get to the moon. So,
right.
And don't get caught up in FOMO, as I was saying, the fear of missing out. That's what FOMO stands for. So you'll learn a lot of new terms while you're in this space, which I've been there for a little bit now, so I kind of understand a little bit of terms. So just be careful with that.
All right. So I'm going to take some questions. If you guys have any questions, let me see if I can scroll up. It looks like I'm good. So just type in questions if you guys have them. I see it's a couple people over on Instagram. My little camera is crazy for Instagram, so y'all can only see.
Hi, everybody, Instagram, man. How you doing out there? Please. Hey, smash up the likes.
Yes.
Follow, like, all that good stuff.
So make sure you follow Cointhusiast on Facebook. They're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, y'all are everywhere.
Cointhusiast is our company. And
Cointhusiast.
Yes,
I got a shirt.
Yes,
yay!
I gave her a shirt. She invited us to come over. She's official.
I'm official now.
So we're very happy actually to bring this information to you guys. And please follow us on Instagram. Please follow us on Facebook and reach out. Reach out and ask questions, please.
So, let's say somebody like me. I'm a client of his. He's a client of mine, and our other businesses.
Yes, very much.
So,
yeah, very much so.
I do believe in trying to keep it all in the family.
Yes.
Oh, here's a question. I've heard about exchange fees. Can you talk about that?
Yes. So exchange fees. I tell people it's the price of doing business, and I think there are high exchange fees and there are low exchange fees, and that's one of those things where I use different exchanges. Or one of my strategies, I'm gonna kind of I'll give you a little tidbit, a little I don't know. We'll talk about it later. But what I do is, case in point, if I want to, as Coinbase being the entry into the system, so I buy my coins on Coinbase, and then there's Coinbase and GDAX. GDAX is a actual entity of Coinbase. It's actually owned by Coinbase, but it's for institutional investors. So remember what I talked about, the whales, those big money guys? They use the institutional investing platform of GDAX because the fees are very, very cheap. So what I do is I flip it. I buy my coins on Coinbase, I transfer them into GDAX, and then I transfer them into my Binance or my KuCoin exchange, and there's no fees.
Yep.
Look at my face. No fees. So that's how you get over, because you know, like I said, you put $100, and then by the time you do an exchange, it's down to 80, or down to like, you're like, oh man, I wanted to buy this coin and I want to buy this much, and you like, you know, work your system, your plan out, and then by the time you get to the exchange, you have less money. So that's one way to kind of take advantage of the system, or hacking the system, as we call it in this space. So that's something also you can reach out to us, and we can also walk you through. And she'll tell you about that stuff later on also.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Any more questions? So I know that there's a delay with questions. So let me make sure I get this right. So for you guys that are interested in trading in this space or learning more about Bitcoin, right now Cointhusiast is running a special.